Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, September 29, Aaron Nola. Photo by Rich Schultz, Getty Images. MLB owners are getting smarter and they know the risks of signing someone in free agency. Instead, a lot of front offices will look to extend a young player early to avoid paying big in the end. While we've seen a lot of big free agent contracts not work out, it seems there are very few contract extensions that don't go well for both sides. Just over the past week we've seen the Yankees give Luis Severino a contract extension, the Minnesota Twins extended Max Kepler, and the Philadelphia Phillies did the same with Aaron Nola. In a couple of years, we could see a big change in how this works. The MLB Players Association, MLBPA, knows that teams are no longer willing to fork out big money in years in free agency. Instead, they are more willing to let young players play for the league minimum. But these extensions are good for the players as well because it's guaranteed, life-changing money. As it is with any athlete, you never know when an injury will occur, or when your effectiveness will diminish. I understand there are guys like George Springer who is willing to bet on themselves and not sign a contract extension, but for most, I think getting that guaranteed money is a big deal. And for front offices, it allows them to avoid arbitration with some of their young stars, and it helps them budget for future seasons. Page 2 Los Angeles, California, October 28, Mookie Betts. Photo by Billy Weiss, Boston Red Sox, Getty Images. Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles really need to try and lock up Chris Davis. I kid. To be honest, there isn't an ideal candidate for Baltimore. Michael Givens may be their best player, but you don't see too many relief pitchers get contract extensions, and he's soon to be 29. Boston Red Sox. The obvious one here is Mookie Betts, who just got $20 million for the 2019 season through arbitration. At 26 years old with just 2 years of control left, you know Boston is looking to lock up their MVP for several more seasons. New York Yankees. After locking up Severino, the Yankees should now shift their focus to Aaron Judge. The soon-to-be 27-year-old is not even arbitration eligible until the 2020 season. To me, he's the face of this franchise and should be for a long time. At the very least, the Yankees need to buy out his 3 arbitration seasons to avoid any awkwardness. Tampa Bay Rays. Another pretty obvious one here is Blake Snell. Coming off a Cy Young season at 25 years old, it would be good for the money-conscious Rays to lock him up. He won't be arbitration eligible until the 2020 season, so the Rays may want to see him duplicate his 2018 success in 2019 before buying out his contract years and maybe a free agent season or two. Toronto Blue Jays. Maybe we need to see this guy actually play at the major league level first, but if Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is as good as everyone says he is, the Blue Jays may want to act quickly to lock him in for a while. Page 3 Use your arrows to browse Cleveland. October 8, Francisco Lindor. Photo by Gregory Shamus, Getty Images. Chicago White Sox. There are a lot of young players that seem like obvious candidates for the White Sox to lock up, but none have really proved themselves at the major league level yet. Yoán Moncada is the likely candidate here, but he needs to pick it up in 2019. Cleveland Indians. This one is pretty clear. The Indians have to back up the truck for Francisco Lindor. The 25-year-old has already put in 5 solid seasons, playing at an MVP level the past 3 seasons. Lindor has 3 more arbitration seasons. Cleveland should buy those out and a couple of free agents years. Detroit Tigers. The only one that really makes sense for the Tigers right now is Michael Fulmer. The soon-to-be 26-year-old has been mentioned in trade rumors, but the Tigers could change directions and lock him up. A down 2018 season didn't help his chances though. He may have to prove himself again in 2019 before the Tigers decide to buy out his last 3 arbitration seasons. Kansas City Royals. The Royals have already done a good job of extending Danny Duffy and Salvador Perez in years past, as well as Whit Merrifield this offseason. Minnesota Twins. Another obvious one is 24-year-old Jose Berrios. He's had back-to-back solid years in Minnesota and could be the face of this franchise going forward. He won't be arbitration eligible until the 2020 season, so the Twins have control over him for 4 more seasons. Use your arrows to browse.